Cancel culture strikes again, especially on college campuses, where you can no longer refer to a woman nursing her baby as breastfeeding. You can't make this stuff up, folks. Ignoring the science, some academics are insisting that by using the term breastfeeding, people are endorsing, quote, a controversial set of values about family life and gender roles. We'll hear with more from the University of Florida's campus reform reporter, Ophelie Jacobson. Ophelie, I'm assuming you're not shocked or surprised by this, so set us straight. We're now politically incorrect if we're referring to nursing a baby as breastfeeding. Explain what's happening.
That's exactly right. According to two professors at the University of Pennsylvania and Johns Hopkins University who wrote an article in a medical journal back in 2016, the term breastfeeding, like you said, can present a controversial set of values for family life and gender roles. And I am not surprised. This is nothing new. At the Leadership Institute's campus reform, we've been covering how basic biological facts have been attacked by higher education institutions for years. A couple of months ago, we reported on a group of medical professionals at Harvard University who referred to women as birthing people on Twitter because, according to the so-called experts, not all those who give birth are women. This is absurd. And, a couple of university hospitals in the United Kingdom are starting to replace the word breastfeeding with chest feeding. So we're seeing this ideology take place overseas, and we're going to see it soon come into our college classrooms in this nation.
Well, last time I checked, only women can actually breastfeed. Men can't do that. I understand this movement to remove gender roles, as you mentioned, started in the UK. What else did they do, and how has it spread?
Well, again, what we're seeing, it's not only an attack on the basic essence of womanhood, it's an attack on basic biological facts. It's basic science that a woman is her body is built in a unique way to give birth and to nurture that life. And speaking of science, I find it ironic how the left is consistently pushing for people to follow the science and to look at the facts, especially with the coronavirus pandemic. But it seems as if they are the first people to throw out science when it comes to being all-inclusive and non-offensive. It's a unique ability it's a God-given ability that women are able to give birth and to nurture that life. But according to the left, it's now a curse. It just shows just how radical their agenda is becoming, that now it's unfair that only women can give birth and only women can nurture that life through breastfeeding.
Ophelia, how should women respond? How should they react to this?
Well, I think they should be offended. For one, I know that I am offended because it seems as if the left is trying to take away every single thing that makes me unique as a woman, which again is the ability to give birth and to nurture that life. Science shows that men and women are built in very different ways and have very different and unique roles in this life. So society should be encouraging both men and women to embrace their anatomy and to embrace their biology for what God gave them and to use it, and for women, that's to give birth and to nurture that life.
Okay, switching gears here on another recent topic. I'm sure many people are disgusted by this one. Some leftist professors actually wish death on conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh as he struggled with lung cancer. And then when he died February 17th, some actually celebrated. Tell us about comments from professors at Louisiana Tech, Yale, and others.
Well, this is really disappointing, to say the least. I mean, these professors are supposed to be educating the next generation of leaders, but instead they're taking to social media to celebrate the death of Rush Limbaugh. We've seen professors celebrate the death of other conservatives and Republicans back in 2019 when Barbara Bush passed away. Professors were also on social media celebrating her death. And even with conservatives and Republicans who are still alive, professors are wishing death upon them. A professor said that Trump supporters deserve to die before the election. I mean, what has our nation come to? That if you disagree politically with someone, you can just wish death upon them or celebrate their death when they do pass away? This is not the example that we should be setting for our future generation of leaders.
Well, why should we be concerned about this attitude? Don't they have a right to free speech?
Yes, but I mean, it comes at the end of the day to a basic point of human decency. It seems as if the left is forgetting their basic human emotions and sympathy, and that's what unites us as human beings.
And anything else you're keeping an eye on as we approach spring break on college campuses?
Well, a lot of students, they had their spring break canceled this year, unfortunately, due to the coronavirus pandemic. A lot of universities, thought this through and said, well, maybe if we just keep all of the students on campus, they won't travel, they won't bring back the virus. But I know a lot of students are upset. At the University of Florida, where I attend, they canceled spring break and instead they extended our winter break by 1 week. And they're giving us a few mental health days here and there, but that doesn't really make up for that whole week of break that we usually take to, recharge to finish off the end of the semester.
Okay, Ophelie Jacobson, campus reform reporter at the University of Florida. Always good to talk with you, Ophelie. Thanks for setting us straight today.
Thank you so much for having me.